guys, what is going on? Redmaster here, and welcome back to another episode of Cards and Castles, where today we do have something a bit interesting for you guys. So over the past weekend, I believe last Sunday, there was a community-held tournament over on Discord, which gathered around, I think, 16, maybe, I think 18, I'm unsure of the number, but the point is, it grabbed a lot of community members together, and they had fun with a giant tournament. Now, to my knowledge, I believe there is another one being hosted quite soon, so I will put a Discord invite link to this community tournament server down in the description below, where you can enter various different tournaments to receive various different prizes, bragging rights, etc. So if you guys want, do feel free to check out that link in the description below. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because we do have some games from that tournament from actually the perspective of the ultimate winner of the tournament. So I believe I have, yeah, it was banana2244 who ultimately won this past tournament. So big shouts to him. And I, asked him, oh, hey, can I borrow some matches? I did for various players as well. So although Bananas is the only one, I think one of two that I have completely. So I'm going to showcase his matches today. If you guys want to see other various matches from this tournament, do hit me up in the comment section below and tell me if you want to see them. So with that being said, let's just jump into this first matchup and see what went down. Alright, so for this first match, he went up against Joshua, I believe. So let's go ahead and see what went down. They're both using Warlocks. That's something to take note of. But Banana is, of course, using a Crusader variant, while Joshua is using the Viking. We see that Banana's also got a pretty decent starting hand. From what I can assume, it might be a Last Will deck. We see that the Vicious Sunflower that he's pointing out to us right now, as well as the Banshee. But Joshua opens up with a standard Lumberjack to see if he can get some additional draw. Nothing wrong with that. But I think Banana's going to take this time to block with that Vicious Sunflower, which is a good way to prevent Lumberjack damage. But will Joshua take the trade, or will he just hold back for now? Usually Vikings are a bit more aggressive, but we'll see what it takes. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Is everything alright on there? I do apologize if it's a little buggy. I think I might be audio. The input might be off, and you might be seeing things on your screen. Or that just might be me. I'm not quite sure yet. But Joshua opens up with it, or not opens up. He continues his assault with a warrior, but he is holding back, which is an important thing to note here. How will Banana respond? He'll place a blacksmith up, so that way, if the warrior does choose to attack, he can at least trade with the sunflower. So right now, it's not looking too good for Joshua's end. He's got a buffed up sunflower to worry about, which can easily deal with both of his guys, meanwhile keeping Banana's sunflower alive. So trading would be pointless on the board right now. But what is Joshua going to do? That's the second question of the day. And I do apologize because there's also, we pretty much captures a live match here. So it's not like Cards TV where there's continual action happening. So, yeah, I do apologize for that. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Or we'll see what happens, really. So I can fast forward it just a little bit. Can I actually do it? Well, that's a 30-second jump. Oh, whoops. Well, there we go. There's something. Something happened. Battle ready. Okay. Whoa. That took out both. Wait. Did he use a Winds of the North due to complement that? I believe he did. Let's see. Alright, so that might be a spoiler. But okay, yeah, it was a Winds of the North. So he pushed him up. Battle ready on the warrior. Great way to deal with both the sunflower and the blacksmith in one go. And meanwhile, keeping all of his units alive and preventing that sunflower explosion damage via the knockback of the warrior. So that was a good play. Banana has to respond with his Banshee then to take out the warrior. He'll receive an Inspire for his troubles, but that leaves the Lumberjack open to strike the castle for 1 damage. Question is, will Joshua take it? He will, plain and simple. But how will he capitalize is what I'm trying to say here. He'll play a scout to bolster his forces. Banana will use the Inspire. He'll get a Knight of Flowers and Berserker. Both able to be played now thanks to his 3 gold. But what will he do? He'll use the Berserker to block off that scout and hit the Lumberjack, giving Joshua that extra draw for the turn. But will Joshua get rid of that Berserker with a burn? That's the real question. He can easily trade with it. And and that way he won't really be hurt. Judging by Banana's hand, he can't really deal with anything, or he can't really deal with Scout effectively. The only thing I can think of is maybe a defective flame cannon, but we'll see if he uses the Dragon's Fire due to the Scout and Warrior being both on the board at this time. Joshua is being very aggressive, but that's what his colors do dictate. Those are usually some fast aggression colors. Banana draws a Lumberjack, so that's going to easily trade into the Scout to draw him a Flamestorm. Could come in handy later. He'll actually use that now to get rid of the Warrior. Surprised that he holds off or doesn't hold off on using that. I imagine if he's running Flamestorm, he has to have some Tarius files in this deck. So that's kind of spooky to see that he didn't use that. He could have easily used a defective flame cannon as well. He does have the Crusader for heal, but we'll see. Joshua Blue Firebolts the Knight of Flowers away and summons a Dwarven Miner on his own to establish himself. So now it's back to Banana's court. There's a Tarius file, so obviously the Flamestorm being held off could have done wonders for him, but he wanted to get rid of that Warrior, the old or without taking too much base damage. So, but I don't think it's going to cost him in the end. He reinforces his board with a Sunflower that's buffed by Armory. Armory is a very useful card, so you can see why he used it in the deck. That's pretty much all of what's going around lately. In ranked play, you're never going to see a deck possibly without an Armory, so that's something to take note of. How will Joshua respond is the question. Killer be killed? Well, you can run away as well. So Joshua fears the Sunflower to the back of the castle, and summons a Tyrannosaur as well. Will he attack though with the Dwarven Miner? Is the question. Obviously, depending on where he puts the T-Rex, that Dwarven Miner can be feared directly into the base. So say if he doesn't attack with him now, he might force him to move up. He'll actually take the 3 damage now. That's pretty good. So now it's 14-18 in Josh's favor. We do see the Arbiter's return though, so we know that he isn't completely out of the game just yet. The question is, will he Dragon Fire though? He will. Okay. So he Dragon Fires the T-Rex and kills the Dwarven Miner in the process. A pretty hefty investment, to say the least, for Banana to take at this time. But how is Joshua going to respond? He's got something in his hand there. What has he got? I'm trying to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so he actually Blue Firebolts the Armory away. That's useful. Anything else though? Oh, I missed it. What did he do? He traded with the Sunflower, and then follows up with a War Elephant. Hey, that's nice to see a War Elephant finally on the board for once. Banana does have a few options to work with here. He obviously got the Arbiter's Return, which I think he's going to play now. Okay, so he does do that. Is he going to trade with the Elephant, or is he going to... Oh. Okay, so he's on... Might have been a... Oh, I understand. It was a misclick due to the fact that he had the... That's not going to work. Wrong order. He even writes that out on his ad, on his little add friends, so like a communication for us, but still. Now he has to deal with a Yarm Giant. He does have the resources to actually deal with it. That's exact burn damage. Will he also summon the Armory? Okay, he does play the Armory, not the Tarius files. So that does open up Joshua to wonder if he should take that out now. He doesn't have any units though, so Joshua clearly has the advantage here going into the later stages of this matchup. He does summon Ragnar. Ragnar's a big player. Don't really see him too much, but that 210, don't let it fool you. That's a big, big monster. Banana receives Arcanon for his troubles. I think he will be able to survive. A little late there on the damage, but it does go through. And he probably is going to block him off with the Tarius files. So, if Joshua does attack, though, it'd be in his interest to attack the Tarius files to chain over to Arcanon rather than killing off his Ragnar. But we'll see what exactly Joshua intends to do. The Arcanon's random spell means that Joshua, if he has any burn or buff cards, he should save them until after he gets rid of Arcanon. But Joshua throws out the, I think, what was that, the respect for playing an Arcanon, because we don't really see him too much either. Little emoting there. That's fine. Friendly little banter, if you will. Let's see what happens. Can I fast forward just a little bit? Okay, we see a scout from Josher. And then, oh, he was actually able to... He actually got the battle ready on the scout, which was pretty lucky considering the multiple targets that could have gotten this buff. Um, so, out of, I think, 5 potential actually, no. Any one of these things could have gotten the target, so that was a big play for him. He'll use a Flame Storm for the Taurus files to get destroyed. There's also a Kraxus as well, so that's going to be very good for Banana. He'll even survive the Ragnar damage thanks to the Armory, so he'll also draw Keeper of the Doorway and Dragon's Fires for his troubles. So this does put Josher in a bit of a position here. He needs to kill that Kraxus without dealing too much, or without getting his own guy killed, because then he'll probably be at a hand disadvantage most likely. But let's see what Josher does. The top deck is certainly real for Banana's side of the board here. But I don't think it's not over yet. But we'll see. See how it works. So he summons in. Wait, did he? Okay, so Joshua I think passed his turn entirely, meaning that his Kraxus repositioned itself. Plus he was able to summon a Blacksmith and an Acolyte to reinforce his board. So actually that was a big benefit for Banana. Having Joshua completely pass his turn. Did he go AFK the rest of that? No, something did happen here. Okay, he defective flame cannon the armory, thereby killing the Kraxus, due to the fact that its life was being supported by said armory. So that was, I think, a pretty important move, even though it brought him down to just about Banana's level in health. He also summons a T-Rex to reinforce his board, and a Barbarian, it looks like, up here as well. But we do see the Arbiter's return in Banana's hand, so that's probably how he was able to save himself in the rest of this matchup. Yep, he plays it there. 5 onto the castle, plus a defective flame cannon, I believe, onto the board, plus Acolyte's attack. Well, okay. Acolyte's not going to attack the castle, which is pretty strange. You could have ended it right there. But he'll summon a zombie instead to block off. He'll burn the castle, and he'll throw out the GG. The question is, will Josher do anything with that? I think he ends up probably, yep, okay. So he does throw out the GG, well played there. So, good first match for Banana, I think, understanding what his deck is. Essentially a standard good stuff red-yellow deck, which is not uncommon nowadays, so makes sense to see why he's running that. But let's go ahead and move into match number 2 and see if Banana had a better... I mean, this match was a little rough, so let's see if he did better in the second match than he did the first one. Alright, so for this next match, he went up against Tab. I'm just going to say that for simplicity's sake, and I know Tab, so I can get away with calling him Tab for now. So we do see he's got some Giants and Nuns in his deck, so we can probably more assume that this deck is focused on Last Will than just good stuff. So, I mean, obviously we see a lot of Last Will actually in his deck. We've got the Sunflower, we've got the Lumberjack, we've got the Rider. We saw Taurus files from last game. We see Andrew now, so definitely a Last Will center deck, which is not a uncommon deck either. I'd say you might see Last Will more. No, you'll definitely see it less, I think, than Last Will. But definitely, or yeah, you'll see good stuff more than Last Will. I think that came out a little wrong. But my point being, regardless, these colors, if Last Will or good stuff, are not common to see. But I am digressing a lot from the match here. There's a lot that's going on. We see 2 Sunflowers and a Lumberjack on Banana's board. Meanwhile, Tab's at a Lumberjack, which is reinforced by a Church. Haven't really seen Church in a while, but we can well, okay, no. I was gonna say I assume Tab using War Party, but I see his colors being Crusader Warlock, so I don't think it's I don't think it's a War Party deck. He is pushing quite aggressively though on Tab, and of course the emotes are fun to watch as well. A lot of kill or be killed by Banana, but let's see if there's anything else that happened in the matchup. I think, oh, there must have been, was that a Grendel? No, how do you, oh, no, duh. The Lumberjack sacrifice powered Last Will's, or powered Andrew's Last Will buffing ability. So that makes a bunch of sense right there. Sometimes I fast forward a little bit and miss little tidbits here and there. But again, these matches are in real time, and I just want to try and progress them a bit further. Um, Another Church and Dragon Lore, it seems like. So Dragon Lore, I can assume maybe a Drymoth's coming out next turn. Let's see. We see a swipe on the castle from Vicious Sunflower and Lumberjack. And then we'll also reinforce his presence by Blue Firebolt from Church. That Church is probably going to heal the castle next turn for 1. Not too big of a deal, though, for Banana, because he's pushing a lot of stuff on him. Tab, I don't think Tab's going to want to waste Dreadmoth's heal just yet. We just need to clear this board a little bit, because things are getting a bit hairy for him. And if he does kill a lot of these units here, any one of these smaller units will power up Andrew even further via the last will buff. We see a Sunflower out on Tab's board down there, plus a defective flame cannon weakening the Giant just a little bit. But overall, I think Tab's in a heap of trouble in this matchup. I don't think it's going to go on for very long. We see Sunflowers moving in on the castle here and there. I think one of them is going to take a bite out of this Sunflower. Will he? Defective flame cannon? Yes, he will. That will trigger Sunflower's last will. I think he probably should have attacked first, but I also think it probably doesn't matter at this point. He just landed 10 on the castle right there, thanks to Andrew, and I think the matchup is pretty much over at this point. Let me just double check. Okay, so Dragon's Fire. Salahar is going to hit the Church, but again, power up Andrew even further. So I think that's going to be it for this game. A very quick and deadly one, utilizing the last will, extreme buff for Andrew from cards like Salahar, Vicious Sunflower, Lumberjack, etc. And I don't think Tab really had a decent hand enough to deal with this. I mean, we barely saw anything from Tab's side of the board. Let me just double check here. 2 Churches, Lumberjack, a Vicious Sunflower. Those are pretty much his only units. We saw Dragon's Fire come out at the very end there. But I think that's all that she wrote for that. Yeah, that's pretty much all from match number 2. So definitely a lot stronger for Banana's, second matchup. But I think at this point, the finals were in place. So let's see how Banana did in that. Well, obviously we know how Banana did. But let's see how it went overall, if it was a shaky match or another solid showing from a last will deck. Alright, so here it is, the finals of this tournament against You Can't Win. So Banana sacrifices his Dragon's Fire and Nunchuck Nun, swaps them out, receives a decently better hand. We see the Tarius Files, Keeper of the Doorway to sub out. That can go either way, to be honest, for him. But we see he points out that he is going up against Crusader Viking, so I think he is nervous about a War Party deck, which is fair to say. War Party's been quite a troubling card for the past few weeks, so understandable to see some concern there. But he does have the Banshee and Hassan City Guard's currently out on the board. Although he does summon Hassan of his own. Will the other one deleted via... Yep, okay. So Salahar actually takes out both of those cards. The Hassan City Guard and Salahar. He kind of jokingly says I didn't mean to do that. So now he's got both of his guards rather than just the one. So Banana has to respond with the Blacksmith. He doesn't really have any other options right now. Which gives You Can't Win the opportunity to summon out a Knight of Flowers. That will be troubling for sure, but let's see if Banana... Okay, he did draw the Defective Flame Cannon, so that will delete the Knight of Flowers, and he's going to place Tarius in front of his castle for good measure, for some, form of defense, and if he does draw the Flame Storm, he can quickly get additional draw thanks to that Tarius Files. But You Can't Win does reinforce his board further with a Barbarian, which will prompt Banana to no? Yes, okay, he is going to summon Keeper of the Doorway. I'm like, is he going to do it? But he ultimately does, so this should get him a bit more undead units to work with here. He does have the Banshee, as he is pointing out right now. And an Arbiter's Return, actually. I just looked at his hand now. I haven't looked at it in a while. Ludicrous Strength on the Barbarian. That's something we don't see too often. But that will make quick work of the Keeper of the Doorway, is what I was trying to say here. And that allows a bunch more additional units to be moved in on the board. Banshee probably has to trade with this guy twice, I believe. Let's see what happens. If he can draw a burn spell. Nope, that's an infiltrate. He'll actually probably summon Lumberjack. Yeah, he will do Lumberjack play because it's a bit cheaper. And allow additional draw like that. So that's another Lumberjack. Is he going to just stealth his blacksmith and run away, though? He's going to have to... He wants to hit one of the Hassan City guards to at least back up his castle a little bit. Or not. I mean, it's his choice. We'll see what he does momentarily. I believe he's going to... Okay, he will hit. Meanwhile, the lumberjack can still be played as well. Nope, he's going for an infiltrate in his blacksmith. So you can't burn or spell damage the blacksmith, but he is going to have to waste a movement if he wants that to be if he wants the blacksmith to be killed. But let's see. We saw You Can't Win use the Medal of Bravery. The Hassan City Guard did trade with the blacksmith, and the medal brought out a Northlands Ranger. So he is keeping his board somewhat interesting. Lumberjacks trade into each other, meaning Andrew becomes a 6-9. Not enough to deal with the Ranger, but a collision now would mean that, oh, I can trade with you, you can trade with, or we can damage each other, and then we could ultimately trade. But Banana's not going to kill off, or at least weaken the Ranger right away. Ludicrous Strength, though, on the Ranger will mean the end of Andrew, even though, oh, Burning Sun as well. Interesting use of the Burning Sun there. Andrew lost all of his buffs pretty easily, and now a 10-9 Ranger is facing down Banana. He'll probably throw out some Banshees here and there, I imagine. We'll see. We'll see what he does here. I mean, he has to throw out the Banshees, right? Okay, there goes one. He'll get a Holy Bulwark. I'm not sure if that's what he wants to do. Okay, he will Bulwark, but that means his Flamestorms won't damage those Tarius. Well, it won't immediately get rid of the Tarius Vow, so he is sacrificing the draw for some castle protection here. Arbiter's Return, though, is going to be brutal for Banana. He does get some draw, so that's nice, but then we also see 10 hitting face, which can be, though, repaired by the Arbiter's Return in his hand. That's going to be that's going to be pretty much his entire turn right there. Okay, there's the Sun City Guards. So I think... No, even if he trades right now, that's not going to be enough to kill off. Unless he Nunchuck Nuns, but he'll want to get out another unit for that to really take it. Or Armory. He could probably do an Armory Nunchuck play right now, which is going to most likely save him, because that means everything's going to get some buffs here. And then you might want to put the... Okay, he's going to do the Banshee? Okay, no. Well, okay, he is doing the Banshee. So that gets buffed there. He's going to have to sacrifice at least one of the guards plus Banshee into the Ranger. So he does protect himself for a bit longer. We see he got a mugging into his hand as well, thanks to the Banshee. Hassan City Guards trade with each other, leaving You Can't Win with just a Lumberjack out on the board. But I think... Yeah, no, I think You Can't Win might be in trouble here. So he hits for one anyway. He moves up at least Knight of Flowers and Barbarian. Will Banana probably have to Arbiter this turn? Yes, he does. If he wants to survive in this matchup, he's going to take out the Knight of Flowers with what he has. He's also going to place a Armory defensively, or is he going to keep it around? Okay, he's not going to... I think he's going to... Let's see if he mugs the Barbarian. Yeah, okay. So he's going to mug the Barbarian, meaning that even though he's going to get up to the castle, he's only going to be doing 2 damage rather than force. That was a good play by Banana not to just reinforce his presence with Armory. Because the Armory is at a decreased cost, so we can play it much more easily now. So I think the point is just survival at this point. Finding some middle ground to just... Okay, so he's indicating next turn that he's going to probably Armory and Arcanon, which is a fine move. But You Can't Win also did not play any sort of cards this turn to reinforce his board, so that definitely means that he's in trouble. So let's see what he does here. He's going to Arcanon Armory into, just Arcanon. 5/8 Arcanon with random spells. And that's definitely going to hurt the... Okay, he's pointing out a bunch of different moves here. You can do Craxus, you can do Dragon's Fire, yes. But Arcanon is going to be a problem for You Can't Win, thanks to the fact that he's got... or You Can't Win using Viking, excuse me. Meaning that they are focused on buffs, so that will be a bit tougher. Craxus on Banana's side, so I think Banana's pretty much taken over at this point. He's reaffirmed his ground a bit. We see Arcanon moving in. We see Craxus moving up as well to get him some extra draw here. Flamestorm is in his hand, but that won't do much thanks to Tarius being a 3 rather than a, whatchamacallit. I forgot the 2. 3 rather than 2. That makes sense. But You Can't Win, does hold on a little bit more with the Frozen Storm kind of freezing off the units, but we see Arbiter's Return played He's probably going to be played by you. Nope, not yet. Okay, he holds off a little bit. He flame storms. Okay, then arbiters. Excuse me. That way he gets the heal. He remembered the order this time. He remembered the order. So that pretty much turns things around in favor of Banana. Definitely getting his health back. Meanwhile, damaging the castle even further. And UCAN has to respond with something at this point. Because his last turn was pretty brutal, not throwing out any cards. He tries to trade with the Arcanon, but I think neglects the lifesteal there, or at least temporarily sort of bugs off the lifesteal. Summons a Genevieve to finish off Arcanon, but that leaves him open to a Kraxus attack. Well, he is going to resolve as well, so I think I should probably take note of that, unless he sort of kills him off with Dragon's Fire, or does something whatnot with that. Because, let's see here, he can Armory, or play another Kraxus. He's going to play another Kraxus. Yes, he is. Kraxus goes down. Not going to hit. I don't believe hitting's the right thing to do for this guy. And then throws a Sunflower up there to, I think, eventually trade with Genevieve. Okay, so you can't win getting a bit more cards in his hand, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's got to figure out a way to deal with 2/6/8 Kraxi at its face, only using a Genevieve as some form of protection. The Arcanon is gone, though, so buff spells are a possibility for our friend here to use, but let's see what happens. A Lightning Blade, okay, that's going to one Kraxus down, but the Resolve is gone. Cleric comes out, part 2, 2 Clerics. I think that's all that she wrote, really. I don't see, he's probably going to Dragon's Fire, Flame Cannon. Right? Yep. And then hit Kraxus. And then just wait for him to die at this point. Because unless the Arbiter returns at this last moment here, I think that's going to be it for our friend. Let's see. You got any heals? Got any big heals at this point? I mean, you could Cleric, but that's not going to do much. That's going to give Banana more cards. Hits the wrong target, too. Ugh. I mean, he's got a 5/5, but that's it. Ranger plus Genevieve, and that's all she wrote. So a good set of matches for Banana, using a Last Will deck to make it all the way up to winning the tournament. Yeah, I think that was well played by him. A good Last Will deck showcase, definitely, and showing that, hey, Last Will is still certainly relevant in this day and age. So props to him for that, and props for winning the entire thing as well. I think that should be mentioned. Like I said, guys, I hope you did enjoy this little something special, if you will, or this special video. Like I said before at the beginning, if you guys want to join this sort of tournament server and be a part of more tournaments like this in the future, then be sure to check out that link in the description below to join that server, and so that way you can stay notified on new tournaments happening. I mean, I would say pretty consistently, actually. There's been a few little ones, and I think they're playing another one. I think I want to say tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. I think there might be one tomorrow. But regardless, if you guys want to join for a chance to win some actual prizes as well, then be sure again to check out that link in the description below. And while you're down there, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, share with your friends, and comment down below your thoughts on this special tournament video. And if you guys want to see more tournament matches like this, I think I have a few other people's perspectives in the tournament. So if you guys want to see them, again, be sure to hit me up in the comments below if you want to see that. And while you're down there, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Help share support the channel. Help us grow by clicking that subscribe button at no additional cost to you guys. So with that being said, until next time, stay gaming.